this kicks off the first of a series of videos looking at the EnergyPATHWAYS interface. So I've got a folder here where I have the EP interface. You'll notice that there are two key files in this folder. One is a Python file, and the other is an Excel workbook. These two files need to go together, so these two files can be located anywhere on your computer, but the two need to be in the same folder. This Python file, we'll talk about this more in a future video, but this includes some of the bindings using Excel wings that help execute different functions in the interface. So, but for now in this video, I'm going to give a quick overview. I'm going to open here the Excel sheet, and there are really just two tabs in this to be aware of. The first is the controls tab. This is where we're going to go to actually execute and run the model. And the second is the cases tab. And this is where we're going to go to kind of set up our scenarios. So I'm just going to give a quick rundown of that process. Here I have another folder. We're using the EnergyPATHWAYS Australia database as an example. But in this model runs folder, I have a test scenario. And you can see in this test scenario, I have a configuration file and a runs key. These were previously made, and I'm assuming for the sake of this tutorial that we're starting from kind of an existing config and runs key. This path right here that includes this subfolder is what we want to copy and paste into the path to runs location of the interface. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to refresh my directory, and then we can see my test scenario here populate. At that point, I can click anywhere in this row and hit the load cases button. And once this loads, currently it's reading the database, which is part of what takes a longer time when you load cases. Now you can see it's populated a series of inputs here for all my configuration options. It's also provided me this table here, which is a scenario mapping from my scenario names to different sensitivities that are located within the database, with an X indicating which of those sensitivities is selected. So I can make whatever changes here that I want to make, including adding or changing scenarios, changing basic configuration parameters like my geography or my output units, or what level of demand detail that I want in the CSV files that the model is going to produce. Once I'm happy with everything, I come back here, I hit save cases. And that, if we look at the date modified, it's 8:40 right now. You'll see that in the test scenario that these date modifies are now 8:40. So this config and runs key has been resaved. From there, I can go to my controls tab. I'll refresh this list. I select the same scenario, and I'm going to queue that selected scenario. So now my set of cases pop up here. You'll notice that there are kind of new run options on this tab, including which subsectors you want to run of the ones that are populated within the database. Some run controls, like whether or not you want to load, save results or pickle the actual Python object for the EnergyPATHWAYS model. Whether or not we want to recheck our electricity shapes. And then finally, here are some configuration options pertaining to passing the results of the EnergyPATHWAYS model to capacity expansion. So I will stop here for this video, and in the next video, I'm going to go back and review some of the configuration options in more detail.